Welcome back. Time is 7:13. Tens of thousands of students across the Charlotte area are waking up for what will be the last day of the school year. We're talking about Gaston and Cabarrus County schools, just to name a few.
But mental health advocates say with less attention on children, it can lead to some barriers that may limit resources that students could possibly need.
Joining us now to talk about some solutions is Adina Godet, a licensed clinical social worker for ThriveWorks here in Charlotte. Adina, thank you for taking the time to join us this morning.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me.
Summer is such a big change for students.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about how routine plays a big part? I mean, I know personally I'm a big routine person. How does that typically manifest for kids and how their reliance on that?
So many of them, especially if they're not in camps or summer camp, they do kind of fall off of routine, especially in summertime. So it's best for parents to have them have still a morning routine, you know, not have them sleeping too late, you know, still give them breakfast, give them physical activity, you know, have them kind of do assignments here and there, but it could be more fun assignments, but still have them on a routine so when they get back, they'll be, you know, fine and jump back in.
Adina, we saw from the research that over 50% of kids 3 to 17 don't have access to somebody to help them work through their mental health struggles there. Why do you think we have that gap there? Is that just because they're out of school and there's not a counselor to talk to?
Well, I wouldn't even say that because some schools, especially in rural areas, don't even have the counselor in school-based, you know? So we always advocate for more school-based. However, yes, I do think that's one reason, but I think too, a lot of students, they kind of get out of, again, the routine. They get out of the routine of being in school, and so they don't have as many, again, depression starts coming up. They're in the room too often. Their friends, they're not seeing them as much unless they do, you know, or with their parents, they're not there as much because they're at work, you know, and they're just alone. So I think a lot of times they have more free time. They have more free time to scroll on social media and to, you know, not do as much work. They're not as busy. So, you know, they can be distracted.
Sure. And I know boredom can be kind of a big issue too, and people be a little bit lethargic, maybe a little lazy, if you will.
Right.
What should parents kind of be on the lookout for as to when it's just, hey, I'm just kind of slacking off and enjoying my summer, and when we might have a problem?
I think, well, like I said, I think staying in the room too much. There's one thing, especially with teenagers, you know, they want their independence, they want their time. However, too much all day long, you know, being in the room, not coming out only to use the bathroom or to eat, that could be a sign, you know. And you know your children, if their behaviors change, you know, if they're seeming less interested in certain things, they don't want to go out at all, they don't want to go out, you know, outside and do any like physical activities, or just not interested in doing what they used to do. You know, if they are into sports, they're not doing that at all. If they're into, you know, reading books, they're not trying to go out and go to the library or, you know. So yes, different things like that, just knowing kind of the signs and looking at different behaviors.
We've seen, you know, since the pandemic, kids are a lot different than when we were all growing up. You went outside, you played a lot. Now a lot more kids are on social media and doing things like that. What are some coping strategies that parents can use or that kids can use if they're not feeling so great over summer vacation? Maybe they're kind of glued to the phone and not feeling as well.
Yeah, I would say sometimes, and if they can, sometimes parents do need to take off, you know, if they can, so they can make sure their children, they're doing things with their children as well. If they have cousins or family members that are off, you know, having them with them sometimes. And again, not just having them at the home, you know, by themselves. If they can spend time with their friends, get to know their parents so they can spend time with their friends outside of, you know, school, you know, and to keep that relationship going. But yeah, I definitely say if you can, summer camps. summer camps are a big thing. Again, it keeps them on a routine. You know, again, they're not necessarily doing work, but they're getting up. They're, you know, they're being active. They're using their brains. They're using their mind. They're not just chilling for, you know, 3 months straight. So yeah, I definitely say just still being involved.
And sometimes a break can be very well warranted, you know, especially for, you know, overachieving teenagers who are very involved in everything.
Yeah.
Where's that balance, do you think, in between the summer and having a good mental break and staying active and on a routine?
I definitely say if they can't take vacations too, you know, but again, you want to keep them on a routine, but definitely if they can, give them some time to sleep in, but don't, again, not too much. You know, you don't want them 10, 11, 12, you know, just sleeping in. Get them up still. But if they don't have to, you don't have to give them too much work. But again, just keep their mind. Give them fun activities. It doesn't have to necessarily be a full schedule. You know, every single day we're doing something. Make sure you still take off your weekends if you can. Or if you can, sometime out the weekdays, you know. So yeah, definitely. Just making sure you're taking a balance and taking breaks.
All right. Again, Adina Godet with ThriveWorks. Thank you so much for joining us. Favorite thing that you said there, parents taking some time off if you can to spend with your kids. Some of my best memories came with my mom and dad during the week when surprise vacation day.
you.